4. Hit him with it, Tara.
Dropkick Discussion, the only wrestling show that matters.
And the only wrestling show that should be on your mind more than Wardlow is on MJF's.
He's living rent-free. Just like we live rent-free in the minds of some people who hate us already on Twitter.
You can hate us all you want.
It's all right.
But just to quote the best heel in the business, we're better than you.
And you know it. In any case, this is very special because, usually our shows drop Monday. We do them Tuesday live on WMSC, and then they drop Monday. But this one's out a little bit early because we got WrestleMania predictions.
WrestleMania,
brother.
Listen here, brother.
Things are going off. It's another 2-night event. Also, we're going to talk about NXT Stand and Deliver.
And, of course, Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
the
how about that?
Supercard of Honor. The first one under the new Khan administration.
The Khan dynasty.
It really is a dynasty at this point.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And I'm so excited to see where Ring of Honor goes from here. But before that, let's talk about who we are. I just lost the rights to my name, and you are.
I didn't lose the rights to my name because I copyrighted them ahead of time. My name is Mike Foley, the original heel.
And I'm Tara. Thank you so much for tuning in.
You got your rights back already?
Yeah, dude, Vince let him go. He wanted to make sure he got Cody sewn up, so he just let me slide.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's
like
true.
Matt Hardy.
I forgot they copyrighted Matt Hardy's name.
Production Matt Hardy.
No, he's Woken.
I love him so much. I love Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy is unironically one of my favorite wrestlers in the entire world.
Oh, he's great. You know what I wish I saw? I wish I saw him versus Cameron Grimes in NXT.
Yeah.
Cameron Grimes is a goofball.
We got all that and more coming up. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm getting low-key anxiety from whatever they're doing to the building underneath us right now because every 5 to 10 minutes we just hear.
You know what they're doing?
What?
They're hosting an indie show.
Don't tease me like that. Don't tease me like that. Could you imagine? Oh, my God.
No, you know what? They're filming Orton Edge 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Oh.
The Falls Count Anywhere. Not the greatest wrestling match ever.
They're filming another Veer Mahan match that WWE is not going to air.
No, it's just going to be on main event, but he's still coming to Raw.
Yeah, you know what? Good for him. If he can pull it off. But we'll get there. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Of course.
What do you want to talk about first?
Let's start with the most stupendous 2-night premium live event. What do you think?
Revolution. Now, 2-night Revolution might be.
Honestly, a 2-night Revolution would just be money.
You're not even wrong. You're not even wrong. We're talking about Mania 38 right now.
You know what would be great?
What?
If they had changed the song for WrestleMania to Come Back to Texas from Bowling for Soup.
It's just not the same
since you went away. Anyway.
Ooh, that would have been good.
It would have.
But we got a bunch of stuff going on. Mania is back to being a 2-night event.
Which I think is probably for the best.
I agree.
Because I rewatched Mania 35 over winter break. It's a slog.
Yeah.
I love it.
Was that the one with the 3-way for the women's title?
Yeah, that was the main event.
Yeah.
Honestly, what they should have done is they stuck it to 2-night. They should have put Kofi Mania as main event night 1 and women's as night 2.
Yeah.
I like the 2-night format. I hope they keep it. I know Wrestle Kingdom benefits from that.
Yeah.
And I think they will too. Will they? Probably not. But
also, I'm not even going to put up a front about 35. The cop car promo I enjoyed greatly. Remember that one?
Oh, where they're just kicking each other in the cop car?
Yeah, I enjoyed that immensely.
It's just so
the
goofy.
brawl went from the ring to the backstage to the cop cars.
It's just goofy.
It was so goofy. I'm like, you know what?
I'll give it to you.
You got me. You got me.
You got me, Vince. I'll give it to you.
You got me, Vince.
Yeah, I thought that feud build-up was great. I don't know why people don't like it.
That was pretty good. And the build-up to putting the belt on Becky was good. What happened after that? Different story. But
well, no, she had a solid run once they got away from Lacey Evans. Let's start with some Mania matches.
All right, so we're talking about night 1, April 2nd. It's going to be on pay-per-view. It's going to be in Texas. The first match listed here is Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. Singles match for the WWE Women's Raw title.
So I was going to say Belair all the way.
Yeah.
But after Raw last night, I'm going to say Becky.
Let me just say this. And if you follow us at DD the Podcast on Twitter, you know that I think this is stupid. I think a women's match where they're feuding over their hair is stupid.
Yeah. I mean, last week, Becky cut a promo that was, all about her soul, and I was like, that's interesting. I like this angle.
Yeah.
Because that's, she did technically sell her soul to be the world champion when you think about it. She turned heel to become the main eventer. She sold her soul. The whole plan was for her to turn heel on Charlotte.
Yeah.
And obviously that failed, because Charlotte works better as a heel. Vince.
Said that with your whole chest.
Because it's true. They've overbooked her to the point where she's not a good babyface anymore. They just need her in that heel role.
Agreed. And she's a good worker too. Like,
she's great. I'm not never misconstrue me saying by overbooked to mean that she's a bad worker. She is probably one of the best in the company. Like this whole like pedestal gimmick that she has going on right now is perfect for her because that's what she is. She's the pedestal of the women's division.
Yeah, and she has been like she's been holding it down for a while. Like, she's one of their hardest workers. Deserves all the credit in the world.
Oh yeah, instant Hall of Fame.
I was trying to find. I put it out on. I don't know if I put it on socials or not. If I didn't, I should. Did you ever see the promo where it's Sasha and Charlotte says something about like Sasha's like family or something, and then Sasha comes back with who your dad is. You're lucky you know who your mother even is. Woo! And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
No, yeah. I saw that clip when I got back into wrestling because for a while I was out of it. And I was just like, oh, Sasha went there.
Sasha cooked her alive. I love Sasha Banks. I'm a fan of, too.
Oh, she's great.
Sasha Banks should go to a different company.
I mean, she almost did the first time.
Yeah, true. So who do you have winning the Becky Lynch-Bianca Belair match?
I'm going to say Becky.
I'm going to agree with you on that.
Just because usually how booking works is you have the whoever's going to lose be over on the go-home show.
Mm-hmm.
And Belair cut Lynch's hair. So I fully expect Belair to walk away with the L here.
Agreed. Next up, we have Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio versus The Miz and Logan Paul.
Rey Mysterio wins.
Yeah.
Pinning The Miz.
Yeah, Logan's gonna get like launched, and then he's 619 and then black out on the ring apron.
Listen, last year's Miz's match with a celebrity was good. Don't get me wrong. Morrison, Miz, and Bunny Priest was entertaining, and I loved it.
Okay,
because Bad Bunny hit a Canadian Destroyer. Never forget that. The rapper hit a Canadian Destroyer.
We'll give him that.
And I wish he was DLC for WWE 2K22.
Bad Bunny would be amazing. Maybe Logan Paul will be.
No, he is.
Oh, he is.
It's confirmed that Machine Gun Kelly and Logan Paul are DLC. So I'm going to make Logan Paul my world champion in universe.
Oh, boy. That's a fantasy booking episode.
Oh, no, it is.
Book Logan Paul as the world heavyweight champ.
I would honestly like to do that in Conor McGregor.
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah.
He's going to end up there.
Oh, of course.
So I'm going to agree. I think every time Ray loses his mask, it sets him up for a dub.
Always does.
Any chance I get to see the Miz work, I'm a big fan of Miz.
Miz is great. Honestly, he's one of those like guys that's like just a go-to workhorse and does everything he's asked of and is never ever put in a bad spot. Like honestly, where he is as upper mid-card heel is perfect.
Yeah, and he's doing a great job with it.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss.
Drew's winning.
Yep.
Drew is going to probably be whoever wins the world title's first opponent coming out of Mania.
I got a question.
Yeah.
You ever think you're going to have kids one day?
I don't know why.
Well, when they ask you what a Baron Corbin is, what are you going to tell them?
A really good heel.
That's what you're going to tell them?
He really is.
You're going to lie to your kids?
Yeah. I lied to them about Santa Claus.
Yeah.
No, I think I think he's great at the role that he's in right now. The Happy Corbin gimmick is great. I wish we got more of Bum Corbin though. Bum Corbin, if that went for a whole year and then his luck turned around, he like won the Andre Memorial Battle Royal again.
Yeah.
I think that would be fine.
I'm going to agree. Next up, we got the Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs.
Boogs and Shinsuke are winning.
Really?
They've been building up Boogs the entire Intercontinental title run of Shinsuke.
Okay.
And honestly, he's pretty good, and they see something in him, and it might set up doubt for whether or not Roman's going to retain if the Usos win.
Okay. I'm going to disagree on that one. I think the Usos are going to, I think they're going to put it on him. I don't know. It's just a vibe. That's a vibe thing. I don't really have a solid answer as to why. I just kind of think it's going to be the Usos.
That's fair.
Shinsuke Nakamura's good, too. He's cool.
He's great. He needs a world title run.
Yeah.
Vince, give him a crazy world title run. Make him a crazy heel. Have him just start kneeing everybody in the face. Do it. Do it.
This next match isn't even a question. It's the New Day versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland with Butch.
No, it's 3-on-2 handicap.
New Day, no question.
Yeah, New Day.
You'd have to be out of your mind.
Which sucks because this will be Pete Dunne's first.
Butch.
I'm calling him Pete Dunne until he changes on his Instagram. It's Pete Dunne.
Okay, that's fair. I can't deal with that.
It's his first main roster match, and they're gonna have him take the L. I don't think he'll be getting pinned, and if he does, then I'm gonna be annoyed because it's like, oh my god, this is one of the best technicians you have, and you're having him lose.
But they would do that.
They would do that, but also Sheamus is one of those guys that even if he loses, he still looks good. So like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was that.
Sheamus is amazing despite everything the WWE has done with
He
him.
is literally one of those guys where I could be like, give him an IC title run, have him retire.
Set him up with a feud with Miz. Have they ever done that?
I don't think they have.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Honestly, though, I could see him taking the title off of Ricochet.
Yeah. Ricochet's cool too. I like
Ah,
Ricochet.
I like Ricochet. Mostly because he can sell like nobody else. Like when he got hit
Yeah.
with a Claymore and turned inside out, I was like,
Yeah.
give that man the IC title. Have him lose
he
it.
gets it.
He gets it.
And, given the current climate with the New Day, I think they'd be out of their mind
Honestly.
not to give it to them.
Yeah, no, it would make no sense to not give them the win.
How they do Butch dirty or not, I don't know.
Butch?
I don't trust them. I don't trust them.
Listen, you know what? It's fine. Batista debuted as a guy who collected money for Pastor Devon, so
This is true. This is absolutely.
And
This
he-
is absolutely true.
and he has a Hall of Fame career. So I'm
He
gonna
does.
I'm gonna trust them because they at least gave Pete Dunne opportunities in NXT 2.0. So that means Vince does like him a little bit.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
All else fails, he goes to AEW.
But for the match, it's or Ring of Honor.
Don't get me excited.
But for the match itself, New Day wins, no question.
Oh yeah.
Number 6, Seth Green Goblin Rollins versus to be announced. And here we find ourselves once again.
Whoa, it's only smoke and mirrors. Whoa, it's gonna be Cody Rhodes.
Here once again for the third week straight.
Guess what we're talking about, folks?
We
We're talking
find
about Cody.
We find ourselves talking about Cody, and I can't help but think that was his intention.
It totally was.
Yeah.
I feel like Vince was like, "Hey, you want some money, kid?
I just cut a bunch of promising young talent.
You know, your company's getting pretty full.
Yeah.
You want a main event spot at Mania?"
Yeah. In the final Dropkick discussions before Mania, you're committed to saying Seth Rollins is going to fight Cody Rhodes.
Honestly, yeah, because it was confirmed by Meltzer that like 10 to 14 days ago, and that was like last week that Cody signed a new deal with WWE.
Yeah.
And I really like Seth's build to Mania too. Like even if it's not Cody, Seth's build to Mania has been great because it's like I think everyone should want to be on the Mania card,
Yeah.
and I like that he's going and saying that he can't get it.
Right.
Because it's like, yeah, he can't get it. He should get it. He's one of the best workers in the company. And it's just like, what am I going to do? 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 Okay, let me take this. Okay, let me try this. And he's just not getting to him. And now it's like, okay, he finally gets it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Vince was like, oh, I have an opponent for you. Opponent that has beaten you in the past and you've never won against. An opponent that I brought from another company. Here he is, Butch.
Butch. I can't deal with Butch. But yeah, so we can't predict a match that we don't know the participants of. So it's Seth versus TBA.
I'm going to
Here's-
say it's Cody, and I'm going to say Cody wins.
I'm going to say it's Cody, but I do want to entertain what if it's not?
So say it's not.
Who is it then?
They have two options. They have Elias and they have Veer Mahan.
Okay.
Who do you think would win that?
If it was Veer Mahan, I think they might give him the win. If it was Elias, I don't think they would.
Who do you think's showing up and who's going to win?
It's going to be Cody. I hate to admit it. It's going to be
Whoa.
Cody.
It's only smoke and mirrors. Whoa.
It's going to be Cody.
Eat it, Tony Khan.
That's what's happening. He's like, oh, you didn't let me have the belt even though I'm surrounded by wrestlers that are better than me? I'm going to go throw a hissy fit and leave. It's going to be Cody, and Cody's going to get the dub. I think that's how it's going to go.
And Cody's going to win Money in the Bank.
And then wrapping up night 1, we have Charlotte Flair versus a transphobe. Who do you think's winning that?
The other one?
Charlotte?
No.
Oh.
They've built her up to beat Charlotte, unfortunately.
Yo, it's crazy. All the space in her mind that is taken up by her transphobia and weird worldviews is boxing out her ability to cut a good promo.
Are you talking about Nia Jax?
No, I'm talking about Ronda Rousey. Those promos are weak, man.
Because she's a bad promo.
She is.
No offense, Rhonda. I know
Full
you.
offense, Ronda.
I know you could snap my neck in an instant if we were in person, but you really need to work on your talking. If you're going to be the women's champion for the next 6 months before you throw another hissy fit and leave, you really need.
I was almost taking a drink when you said that.
Because it's true.
Yeah.
People are going to boo her. She's going to get upset and she's going to leave.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, I think Charlotte should win, but she's not going to.
No.
I think it's
Listen, if Lynch is retaining, they need to have crown a new women's champion. That's a babyface.
I feel like if they were at 35, they were this close to trying to put the belt on Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
if they didn't call an audible and see that people actually like Becky Lynch.
Yeah. Well, people are cheering for her, so.
So she could eat it. I hope Charlotte wins because even though it's a kayfabe beating, it is a beating nonetheless.
Yeah.
So that brings us to night 2. All right.
Folks, this is just prediction episode, and we'll talk about it briefly because we have a lot to predict because this is one of the biggest weekends of the year for wrestling.
Yeah, it's no joke.
It's the most stupendous weekend.
You could say. So night 2, April 3rd, we have Queen Zelina and Carmella versus Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan versus Natalya and Shayna Baszler. Fatal 4-way tag team match for the Women's Tag Championship.
I want it to be Rhea Ripley and Liv, but I could also see it being Naomi and Sasha.
Yeah.
The women's tag titles division is a mess, and it's full of 2 teams until they need more teams.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And again, Liv Morgan's a great worker.
She is.
All of these people that I just named.
She's also fairly older than I expected her to be.
Really?
She's 27.
Next up, we got Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn because, it's Mania.
It's Sammy.
You think the famous person's going to lose?
Yeah.
Really?
Johnny Knoxville is like Dolph Ziggler, a bump machine.
This is true.
I feel like Sammy's going to hit him, and he's going to win, and then someone's going to come out and attack Sammy, and then they're going to get their heat back.
I think Johnny's going to win. I think Johnny Knoxville's going to win because he's the famous person, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. Next up, we have Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory singles match. Oh, by the way, the Johnny Knoxville one is an Anything Goes match.
Yeah.
So that's going to be bananas.
Actually, now I didn't know that. That's going to be Johnny then. He's going to have the crew come out and.
So we got Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory. That is the one I know the least about.
So basically, it was like Vince was on McAfee's show and was like, "Hey, I like you. You want a Mania match?" And McAfee was like, "Sure." And then Vince was like, "All right, Austin Theory, you're going to go wrestle for me." Literally, it's been just Austin Theory and Pat McAfee just trading blows. Honestly, I see Austin Theory winning. If there's one heel to win at night 2, even though there's probably going to be another heel winning, but we'll get to that later, it's probably going to be Austin Theory. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if McAfee did it. It's just they clearly want to get Theory over. He will be the one to take the U.S. title off of Finn Balor.
You know what? I'm gonna take whatever bet you take on that. I'll follow you on
I'm
going to
say Theory.
All right. I'll say Theory as well then. Next up, we have triple threat tag match. We got RK Bro, which is Randy Orton and Riddle, versus the Street Profits, Angelico Dawkins and Montez Ford, versus Alpha Academy, Chad Gable, and Otis. 3-way tag match. Who you got? I
got RK Bro because I don't see them losing the Raw tag titles anytime soon again, unless they do the heel Street Profits. Here's my problem with the tag division is that I can see them putting it on anybody because they just don't really care about the belts. But I know they want to keep telling this RK Bro story, so I could see them holding it throughout the summer and then losing it at SummerSlam and then Randy versus Riddle throughout the fall.
Right.
So I'm gonna say RK Bro retains.
I'm gonna agree with you on the grounds that Chad Gable and Otis both have the distinction of not being able to have nice things in the WWE.
That is true.
So
Otis literally lost his girlfriend and the Money in the Bank contract in the same night.
That was brutal.
That was funny. And Chad Gable was Shorty G.
Not Shorty G.
I'm short. Yeah.
Not Shorty G.
That's basically as a wrestler.
Stop it. You don't have to edit that out for the podcast, man.
What do you mean?
So next up, after Chad Gable and Otis get disrespected again, we got Edge versus AJ Styles.
Oh, this is good.
This is what we're here
for. This is money. I hate to say it, though.
Who you got?
I got AJ.
You got AJ?
I got AJ for round 1. Round 2 will be Edge, and then round 3 will be some stipulation match, and then we'll decide who it is there.
Heck in a Cell.
Maybe it's just a no holds barred. Maybe. Ooh. You know what?
What?
I was thinking about this. What if it's an Iron Man match?
You think Edge could pull that off?
I think he can. If he can do 30 minutes with a torn pec.
Yeah.
I think he can do anything. So how I see the Edge Styles feud playing out is Styles gets the win at Mania, Edge attacks him again, so they do another match, Edge wins, and then it's all right, we can see who the better man is, and then Edge is well, how don't we see who the better Iron Man is? And then Iron Man match, 30 minutes, and then you can figure out who wins there.
Okay.
Pick it out who wins there, yeah.
You know what? I'll take that bet. I think AJ Styles will take the dub. I think you're right. Next up,
Bobbles McLashlord.
Bobbles McLashlord versus
and
Omos.
Andre the Giant 2.0.
Who you got winning?
I see Omos maybe taking his first L at Mania.
Yeah.
And then immediately getting released.
Getting released.
Probably.
Got to get that Rhodes money, baby.
I'm going to say Bobby's McLashlord.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. Actually, I'm going to agree with that entire scenario. I'm down to the release.
No offense to Omos.
Yeah.
You were great Mania last year, but man, I'm tired of seeing squash matches.
All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
This is the final match of WrestleMania according to this card, subject to change.
Oh, of course it is.
It is a winner-take-all match to unify the WWE Championship and Universal titles. It is Roman Reigns, accompanied by Paul Heyman, versus his former client, Brock Lesnar.
You're going to have fun editing this episode.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of squares in the sound wave.
I could see. Yeah, there's squares. There are squares. Anyway, Roman, here's why.
Do tell.
I love Brock. I love happy-go-lucky Brock. He's probably one of my favorite characters right now.
Yeah.
He said he was going to retire last year at 36. He said he was going to retire. He said that he was going to retire because he started in an empty building to wrestle, and he figured that would be the best way to end his career. In all honesty, I could see Brock losing this and Roman unifying the titles because, A, it does three things. One, we have a consistent champion who has been on top of his game consistently since who knows when. Two, gives Brock an excuse to go home and rest his limbs because, let's face it, he's been working hard. I mean, he worked in Elimination Chamber. He worked 2 matches on the Royal Rumble. Man's been busy.
Mm-hmm.
And 3, Roman's just that good, man. Honestly, like, Roman is just that good that I could see him holding them forever. I could see him reaching 1,000 days in the modern era.
I'm going to bet against that. I'm going to bet that Paul Heyman does a Paul Heyman thing and Brock wins the belt.
Interesting.
Because I think the Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman story is just too big a deal for them to turn their back on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like that's one of the most iconic things of the modern WWE era has been them, and I don't think that they're going to go back on that. I think we're going to have a thing like when Paul betrayed Punk, and you're going to have the Advocate and his client again.
I can see that. I wouldn't be disappointed with that, but at the same time, Brock really doesn't need a manager anymore.
True.
I'd rather it go to Roman just because I know Brock, as soon as Mania's over, I'm going to be like, all right, cool.
See ya.
You won't see me for a few months.
Yeah.
And they need, if it's one world title, man, they need a world title. They really do. Like, no offense, like, Raw has been lacking because there's no world title on there.
Yeah.
I see it going to Roman, but I also see your point with Brock. But Roman's too good of a character right now. He's too unstoppable, and they need a top babyface made soon. So, honestly, it's probably going to be Roman. That's just my opinion, but I see Brock.
I'm not saying that would be the wrong way to do it. I'm saying I think what they're going to do is give it to Brock.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And that's the card. But there
That's
is somebody
Mania.
unaccounted for, isn't there?
Who?
What about Kevin Owens' Steve Austin spiel?
Oh, I don't know if it's a show or a match, but either way, Stone Cold wins, lol.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's in Texas.
Yep.
Yep.
But that's not listed here, so we shall see.
No, it's just the KO show.
That's WrestleMania, our predictions, by the way.
Yeah.
If you think you want to talk about predictions or whatever, you can hit us at DD the podcast on Twitter.
And if you get angry, you can always block us.
Yeah, we've already had someone do that, so you'd be in good company.
Shout out.
Shout out. But in any case, you could hit us there if you'd like. You know this is on Spotify and YouTube. You're probably listening to one of those now. You better be. If you want to call in during the show, we record these Tuesday at 6. If you think you could out-talk us, it's an open challenge, darling.
It is. It's a weekly open challenge, and I got to tell you, a lot of your arms are too short to box with gods.
They're not ready. They think they are, but they're not.
All right. Let's hear. What do you want to do? Ring of Honor or you want to do NXT?
Well, I got NXT pulled up. So
we might as well do
NXT?
it. Yeah, we'll finish WWE, and then we'll go right into the Ring of Honor Supercard. Let's hear it.
All right. So NXT's event, Stand and Deliver, is happening. It's also April 2nd.
Yeah, it's in the morning.
Okay. I see. That's quite a day if you got tickets for that.
2 days the day.
You ready for this card? We got Carmelo Hayes versus Grayson Waller versus Santos Escobar versus Solo Sikoa versus A-Kid or Cameron Grimes or Roderick Strong in a fatal 5-way ladder match for the NXT North American Championship.
I see it going to either Solo or Cameron.
Yeah?
There needs to, honestly, Carmelo's at that point where he can probably feud with Breaker and win the title, and they can send Breaker up to the main roster.
Okay, fair enough. Next up, we got Tommaso
Ciampa
versus Tony D'Angelo, singles match.
The man who watched Sopranos once.
And made it a bit.
Yeah, it's actually pretty entertaining. But
Fair.
I have Ciampa taking the L and doing a farewell because it seems like he's coming to the main roster.
Okay.
He's made it a point that like he doesn't know what else to do in NXT.
You know what? I'll take that bet with you. I'm going to put it on The Sopranos. Next up, we got Mandy Rose versus Cora Jade versus
Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray.
Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Women's Champ.
I see Cora Jade.
Okay.
I think Io is coming up to the main roster. I think Kaylee is another option, but they have so much faith in Cora Jade right now. They're probably going to pull a breaker and see if she's ready. And if she is, awesome. If not, they can always take it off of her and put it on Kaylee Ray.
Next up, we got a triple threat tag match. Another triple threat tag match.
A lot of triple threats.
Yeah, for the NXT Tag Championship, we got the tag team Imperium, which is Fabian Eichner
and Marcel Barthel
versus MSK, Nash Carter and Wesley, versus the Creed brothers, Brutus and Julius Creed. Triple threat tag match. Who you got?
I got the Creed brothers. I think MSK is coming up to the main roster.
Really?
I think the tag division needs some new baby faces if they just turn the Street Profits heel. And I think they would be the ones to take the titles off the Usos if they retain at Mania, which I kind of see also. But I think they'd be great on SmackDown.
Okay.
So I see Creed brothers winning by pinning one of the MSK guys, and then they do the Imperium feud for the rest of the summer.
Number 5, Dolph Ziggler versus Braun Breaker for the NXT Championship singles match.
Uncle Ziggles.
Uncle Zig. I agree. I think it's going to be Uncle Ziggles.
No. That was just saying his name. No, it's Breaker.
Really?
The whole point of Ziggler going down to NXT was just to give Braun another spotlight because they gave his title win away on free TV. So I fully expect inside of the entire Mania crowd for him to win the title again and hold it for the summer and then come up to the main roster after SummerSlam. After losing it to Carmelo Hayes, who I thoroughly enjoy. He's one of the best workers in NXT right now.
You know what? I'm going to bet against that. I'm going to say Uncle Ziggles takes it and they continue.
All right. LA Knight Gunther, I see LA Knight taking an L, and I see him coming up to Raw.
After an L.
It makes the most amount of sense. They've had him on the main roster. They've had him eyeing up Dolph Ziggler. They've had him on dark matches. He's coming up. I got a feeling, baby, people that are coming up after this night are going to be Roderick, Tommaso Ciampa. It's going to be Io Shirai, and it's going to be MSK and LA Knight.
Yeah, because LA Knight's had a fair bit of momentum.
He's been great as babyface.
You think Gunther is going to stay in NXT?
Oh, yeah, they're going to put the title on him. Because it just... You can say all you want.
I will. You know what, Mike? I will.
It's true.
You're... Gunther? Really?
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Unfortunately, I'm not.
No, you're not. Well...
To quote LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's during the day of Mania. NXT Stand and Deliver happens first, and there's mostly your predictions. I didn't have a whole lot to add to that one.
Yo, you don't watch NXT.
You're right. So next up, we got to talk Ring of Honor, right?
Oh, of course.
But of course.
Of course. Tony Khan's Ring of Honor.
Supercard?
What I do know is that we're getting Grisham, Bandito, and we're getting FTR and the Briscoes.
Which you said alone by itself is worth the price of admission.
It really is. I haven't seen a lot of other people on the card. I know Swerve is on the card.
Swerve Strickland versus Alex Zane is on the card.
Alex Zane is a good worker. I've seen his GCW matches, so that's another kind of worth the price of admission. If not, just look it up on YouTube.
I just noticed this. Jay Lethal versus Lee Moriarty with Matt Sydal. Cash money. That match is going to be amazing.
It's stacking money.
It is stacking money. Match for the RoH Pure Championship is Josh Woods versus Wheeler Yuta. What do you know about Wheeler Yuta?
So Wheeler Yuta showed up one day as the best friends because Trent was injured, and that's it.
Really?
And now he wants to join the Blackpool Combat Club, I think it's called.
Yeah, it is.
And
William Regal and his violent sons.
William Regal and his two violent sons.
Yes.
That he loves so much.
I love it. I love that so much. So you think he's going to get into that?
So let's go through the card and I'll tell you why.
Okay, so you want me to go from the top?
Let's start from the top and work our way down.
Jonathan Gresham versus Bandito. Winner take all to determine the undisputed RoH World Championship.
I have Bandito winning. And here's why. Gresham has been doing amazing work with the RoH champions in the meantime, but I see Gresham either getting signed to AEW as a full-time roster member or just staying in RoH and working to win back that title.
Of course, we start the card with the two people I know nothing about. Next up, we got the Briscoe brothers versus FTR, which we talked about again. This is for the RoH Tag Championships.
Money. FTR. FTR all the way. FTR Bret Hart shows up and helps them win.
You think he's going to show up?
Oh, yeah.
I'll agree with that. Next up, we got Swerve Strickland versus Alex Zane. Anytime you get to see Swerve Strickland work
is amazing.
Yeah.
Swerve, you're amazing.
Swerve is amazing. And I did a little bit of research because the first time, full disclosure, the first time I saw him was on Revolution.
That's fair.
Dude's good.
No,
Dude is good.
When he would fight for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, I was like, this guy has it. I don't know what it is, but he has it. He has that.
Anything he does, I have faith in. Next up, we just talked about Jay Lethal versus Lee Moriarty with Matt Sydal. That's going to be amazing.
It's going to be the most technical classic I ever see. I see Jay Lethal winning.
Yeah, because he's not really getting that much momentum in AEW.
No, but that's because he's not really featured as much.
Yeah.
So recently he fought Adam Cole, and before that he was fighting for Ricky Stark's orange belt that Taz gifted him because he's a good dad.
He's a good dad. Shout out Taz, my
why
father.
Why was 6 afraid of 7?
Because 8. 989.
Yeah.
Well, see, he spends all his energy being a good parent. He doesn't always have the energy to be a good commentator.
There you go. But I see Swerve winning that. I see Jay Lethal winning. We have
Josh Woods, Wheeler Yuta.
I see
For the pure championship.
I see Wheeler Yuta winning, and then Moxley and Danielson come out and say, "You can be our new brother."
You think they're gonna go through with it? Because didn't William Regal slap him in the face?
There's no reason that they shouldn't do that, because then the next week Wheeler Yuta was like, "Yeah, I don't want to be a friend anymore. I want to be a winner." And I was just like, "Hey, yo."
A word?
Oh, word?
Word?
And Danielson was like, if he listed off people that he wanted to work with, it was Garcia, Yuta, and I think Lee Moriarty.
Who is in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And last up, we have Mercedes Martinez versus Willow Nightingale for the ROH Women's Championship. I don't know who Willow Nightingale is. I know who Mercedes Martinez is, and she's cool.
I thought Deonna Purrazzo had the title.
This is to determine the interim ROH Women's World Championship.
Interesting. I see Martinez winning it.
Agreed.
No offense, Willow Nightingale. You seem cool, but like Mercedes needs some wins.
And she's a machine.
She seems like a really cool person.
Yeah. I haven't seen that much of her because she hasn't really done that much in AEW that I know of.
No, but she did plenty in WWE.
Did she now?
She was Retribution, baby.
Really?
Yeah, she was one of the first few people they introduced, and then she was like, "Nah, I want to go back down." She was great in Io Shirai's world title run.
All right.
As a feud. Her, Toni Storm, Io Shirai, great NXT Women's title match.
I believe it from the work I've seen her do. That's all we have so far on the Supercard.
I think Deonna Purrazzo is set to show up and do a champ challenge.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say I don't know.
I would be genuinely surprised if Kenny Omega is not there in some capacity.
He's not gonna be. He's got some more recovery time.
You think he's not even going to show face?
I think he'll show up in like a video, but I don't think he'll show up in person. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
But like Kenny needs to heal. Kenny, I love you, man. You need to heal. I want to see you in full fighting shape. So when you win the trios titles with your two best friends, you can immediately feud with Adam Cole and his two best friends for the trios titles. Take your time.
I promise you, fans will still be here.
Play Elden Ring. Play some Cuphead. I don't know.
Cuphead. We don't talk about Cuphead. Supercard of Honor sounds cool.
It does, and
that's on April 1st. That's the day right before.
That's Friday. That might be how I'm spending my Friday night. I might break down and buy it because I get paid Friday.
Dilly. And AEW is just kind of like, leaning back a little bit. We just had Revolution now, and there's a whole bunch of hoopla about to happen. And
hoopla.
God knows Cody's going to show up at Mania.
Whoa. Cody Rhodes is showing up. Whoa. Tony Khan can eat it.
I guess.
Whoa. He's going to have this theme song.
He is. The meme economy is never going to recover from this.
No, it's not.
This is a tactical nuke to the wrestling meme economy.
Yeah, but in wrestling news, I read that I think it was either Meltzer or Fightful Select said that Cody, it's important. It's been mentioned to the writers, and I think to Vince that it's very important that Cody comes over as American Nightmare Cody and not WWE Cody.
Because technically speaking, American Nightmare Cody has never been in WWE.
No, he hasn't. The reason why it's American Nightmare Cody is because it's even more of a hey AEW.
Hey Tony.
Hey Tony, look who we got.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it?
It's very that. You know what? Whatever. Let him get his money. And
Speaking of Tony, there's some more trouble in Paradise.
Really?
Not Kofi Kingston, but apparently there was a heated exchange between MJF and Tony Khan.
Really?
Yeah, apparently it was over something with like the PR team or something. It wasn't as much you think it is. It was like MJF did an interview.
Are we sure this isn't kayfabe?
No, this isn't kayfabe. Like apparently the rumor is that MJF did an interview without going through AEW's PR team, like you were supposed to do. It ended up in a heated discussion, and apparently they're chill now.
I believe it. I think
Max knows when he messes up, actually, and
I also think like with the particular brand of healing he's doing, where he's name dropping WWE on a regular basis just to prove how much of a scumbag he is.
It's like
character.
Mike Awesome. It's like Mike Awesome.
Who's that?
Mike Awesome was an ECW guy who won the ECW title, then showed up in WCW the next day. He won the ECW title, showed up in WCW like that week.
That's wild. But like, yeah, like the thing with MJF is like, I feel like the reason Tony cares is because he's doing that particular brand of line stepping, and he wants to make sure that, you know, they're both clear on the vision of where it's going, because that could go that could change the direction of MJF's character.
You know what I see
very
happening?
quickly. What?
I see MJF pulling a Punk.
How so?
I see MJF winning the world title at some point this year and saying, if I win, I'm leaving. I misread my contract and I'm leaving. I see MJF being like, Tony paid me all this money to come back. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Like, I see that happening.
I could see it as well.
Because it's the right amount of him putting into this storyline of like, I'm going to go to WWE. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, because he knows like the buttons that he's pushing. Like,
No, he's very aware.
which is, you know, part of his genius. I think you're right, and I think it is only a matter of time. However they approach it, I think it's only a matter of time before we hear about his thoughts on the WWE by name in ring.
That's true. I was going to say, in interviews, he's already said that he loves all the WWE product.
Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before he gets on AEW TV and says that, especially because Cody's going to show up on WWE. If anybody is going to be the one to say something, it's going to be him.
He's going to be like, yeah, I beat that guy that's on Raw now. And then continue with his promo.
Yeah.
You think I can't beat Wardlow? I beat that guy that was on Raw.
Yeah.
Twice.
He's going to name drop it like casually.
Yeah.
And I think
It's either going to be him or Eddie.
Yeah. In whatever happens with the Jericho feud.
Oh, I really am glad they were continuing that. I can see Double or Nothing. I could see it being the new LAX and two other guys that are feuding with Jericho Appreciation Society and the Jericho Appreciation Society. I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. I think the right thing for AEW to do is you got to be like three little Fonzies right now. What is Fonzie, Yolanda? Cool.
Hey, oh.
You ever watch Pulp Fiction?
Oh, yeah. No, I missed the wrong one.
Because 8. They gotta be cool. We gotta be calm, cool, and collected, because the Cody thing is gonna happen, and it's gonna be hoopla to end all hooplas.
It's going to be hoopla, and then he's going to get buried by Veer Mahan, and then we're going to go on with our lives.
Yep. Whatever's gonna happen, we're gonna go on with our lives. Cody's gonna go on with his life. You know, don't lose your mind over this, people, please. I think you're right. I think if anybody is gonna be the one to push that particular button in an on-air way, it's either gonna be MJF or Jericho. Oh, you know who else might bring up the WWE word?
The Bucks?
Punk.
Oh.
I don't think he's gonna do it in the same way that like MJF would, but if anybody has the cojones and the skill with the microphone to do it, it would be Punk.
Yeah, Punk's not doing anything right now either.
Yeah. Where do you think Punk's going next, or do we not have enough information yet?
I see a world title match.
It's a world title match.
I think Cole is taking the L at Battle for the Belts 2, and then Kenny Omega comes back, and they do the trios titles at Double or Nothing, and then I see Punk versus Hangman 1, which will be tons of fun.
So let me tell you like this, right? What I think the smart move would be, I mean, I am no Jacksonville Jaguars owner, but I think the smart move, we gotta just let Mania weekend happen, man. And for the fans, enjoy it. Like it's gonna be wild.
No, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna be watching.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like, you know, what AEW is gonna do, since just for the sheer fact that we haven't really talked about them this episode because they haven't been doing that much, I think you just gotta ride it out. You gotta see how the Ring of Honor thing does, and then you gotta ride it out and see where things settle. And I think if anybody's gonna say it out loud, it's gonna be MJF.
Yeah, it'll be Max.
It will be. So also, we got another thing coming up. I'm going to mention it extremely briefly. We got Effy's Big Gay Brunch coming up, which is always a favorite of mine. I can't say the names of half the matches on this FM radio.
I briefly looked at the card, and I'm like, oh, if Tara mentions this, we're going to have to just hit the dump button repeatedly.
Oh, yeah. But you know what I'm going to say? Dark Sheik versus Paro, say no more.
Money.
Say no more. You see what Paro can do in NWA. You've seen what Paro could do on the deathmatch scene, the thing he did with Effy. You've seen he's amazing. And Dark Sheik is Dark Sheik. Dark Sheik is incredible.
Shout out Dark Sheik.
Shout out Dark Sheik, my mother. It's gonna be crazy. So that's gonna be another one to. It's all in all, whoever your favorite company is, this is about to be a great weekend for wrestling.
Yeah, it really is.
This is about to be a great weekend for wrestling, and we're glad we get to share it with you. And I'm glad I get to share it with you.
One quick thing.
Before
we, I'm very grateful to share it with you. But it just occurred to me.
I just wanted to bother you about that.
Yeah, okay. We're also going to see the spring cleaning of AEW soon.
Ooh, you're right.
I really think after Mania weekend, we're just going to see a bunch of releases.
Yep. Agreed. You had any predictions on who's going to go?
Leo, Joey, Sonny, unfortunately, and a few others.
You think they're going to pull the trigger on Sonny?
No, not now. I could see Sonny getting re-signed and doing that, but not now.
That sucks.
I know.
That sucks.
It really does.
I think you're... I want to disagree with you so badly, but I can't. Sonny Kiss is one of my favorite talents in the business. But
I could see them going to maybe RoH, but at the same time,
who do you think is going to get like hard cut?
Joey and Leo are hard cuts. I think Cage got an extension, so he's there for another year.
Really?
Yeah. If I had the roster in front of me, I could do it, but I can't do it right now.
Yeah, we're also in the last 2 minutes of the episode here.
So I'm gonna let y'all go.
We're gonna wind it down here. Enjoy Mania weekend. Enjoy all the wrestling that's gonna be happening. We'll be back to talk about it, and we'll be back with more fantasy booking. And we'll be back. So enjoy the weekend. Let us know what you think, and have fun. Stay safe. Take care of yourself. All the good stuff.
Peace out.